Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Wild Game Wednesday. I want to give you a little bit of tip on aging your wild game animal. You've heard me talk about it many different times, and aging is a very hot topic right now. You've heard me say many times that 3 days for every 100 pounds of carcass weight is kind of ideal. That gives the body, enough time to evaporate, the moisture out of those large muscle tissues, those hindquarters, those front shoulders, right? Lets that body moisture, not the good moisture that's, it trapped into the fat particles of the hindquarter, the marbling. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about that nasty, gamey tasting body moisture that you want to evaporate out of there. You've heard me talk about that many times. You've heard me talk about how, it breaks down that muscle tissue the longer you age. But now what I wanted to talk to you about here real quick is, when you're aging your game animal, people say, well, should I leave my deer whole, or is it okay for me to quarter it up and then age it that way? So what you can see here is this is actually a tenderloin here, well, back strap, I guess you would say, that was pulled out of the animal. You can see it was partially pulled out. You can see here where it was still, up into the rib cage here, where we pulled it out of the rib cage. This part was out because the front shoulder and everything was removed. So this was exposed up in here, right? This was exposed. So you can see how dark that got up in here. So we're gonna have a lot of waste here that we gotta trim off. Where when this was up, up inside the hind quarter area, the front shoulder area was removed. So where this was up into the hind quarter, you can see how nice that is right there. So, it ages a lot better. So if you can leave that animal whole, like this is the Coolabuck Junior right here, so you can hang a whole deer in there. This is 6'6" in the inside, so you can hang that deer in there whole. You can let it age whole versus, when you cut it apart like that, you quarter it and you put it like into a refrigerator, you lay it on racks. This is what's gonna happen to you. Everywhere where you cut that apart is gonna dry out like this. Now you can see here on the inside where we cut it off the front shoulders, see, this is good. This is nice in here. It's not all dried up. We're not gonna have much waste in there. A little bit of bloodshot here that we have to work through, as we trim that up, but that was from, the bow shot where the bow hit the animal at and the broadhead hit and, made some impact there. So we can trim that off, but you can see, the aging didn't really make it dark here. So you can see on this side, how dark it's gotten, and then the same on this loin. So if this loin were be able to, put in there and left whole, in the carcass without having to cut in half, so you can put it into a refrigerator or something like that, it's going to dry out a lot more on you. So if you want more information, you can go over to our website at loveofthehunt.tv, loveofthehunt.tv. You can check out all of our game processing segments over there. But this has been your Wild Game Wednesday tip of the week. If you can age them whole, age them whole.